We're right back here at the workbench. We got a nice bench full of stuff here to sort. Over here we got a box of green boards that we got on our last dumpster dive. This over here, oh, wow, that is a big box of boards. There's a few other things in the mix, but I'm pretty sure this came from like HVAC stuff or something or another. But we're gonna toss these straight into our board bucket. Out of them. If anything, it's a mid to low grade board for sure. Here's a different one right there. Yeah, almost this whole box was boards. There must have been 20 or 30 of them. I'm gonna do my very best to get caught up on as much as I can today. I keep telling myself, like, I'm not going to go to the scrapyard until I get caught up on all the sorting. So I can haul it all off and then come back and it'd be beautiful back here. By beautiful, I mean empty. That's the game plan. Alrighty. Got some machine wires and some MLC to sort out. It looks like all the wire was pulled from this stuff. We did this probably on a live stream on the golf cart. I remember doing that one time or another. Good bits of machine wires. Go right machine wire bucket. That's basically right below us. Right here. Been saving up this machine wire throughout the whole summer so far. We got a good bit of it, that's for sure. But yeah, everything from the last 2 dives is literally up next on this workbench. This pile of stuff that we're working on right now is actually scrap from the pile that was behind us. It's still there, you know, but it is reduced. Although I did throw some stuff on top of that pile just the other day. So yeah, it was building back up, I guess. But that's what I do here, is I quick sort these materials and push them into what I think is the best direction for them, you know. So I'm able to go and get more of this, because there's always more of this out there. Once you get the rhythm of going and looking for it and you're successful with it, why wouldn't you just keep going and get more? Why would, I mean, you know, that's what I kind of ask myself. Is it worth breaking things down farther for the value, or is it worth more to you just to go get more and sort this stuff faster? But really, one of the only materials that I do save, other than pop cans, is machine wire. And I guess green boards back there. There's 2 places that are kind of close to me that I can turn in boards to, and one of them's in Ohio and the other one's in like Pontiac in Michigan. So that's like a 1 trip a year type deal. And we'll definitely be making a trip like that this year. I don't know when exactly. Whenever the stars align. Let's just say that. Yeah, we're sorting out this big old pile of BX wire. Trying to get down to what's underneath of it. Oftentimes I don't even have to look to see if there's wire in this when I pull it, because you can feel the weight. You can feel the weight difference. If it's heavier, you can really feel just by grabbing it. You'll know that there's something in there, and I throw it in that bucket there, and that builds up, and we'll process all that on a certain day too. I told myself, we're getting caught up here. and it's going to keep happening. I want it to be awesome back here, you know. I only want to have one spot where I put materials, and have that be that pile that would be right behind here. That's where I'd want to continue to keep a pile, but I want to keep everything else cleared out. Yeah, and that goal is a lot easier said than done, but we're going to be out here and we're going to be putting in a lot more effort to getting this stuff strapped out. Later on in this video, I stopped talking is because I'm concentrating on sorting. When I got full concentration while I'm sorting things, I can move material very fast. Using this Hinchy cooling vest I'm wearing, although I may or may not would have preferred a different color that they would have sent me, it does work. It's nice. It keeps your body core cooler while you're out here being more physical, I guess you could say. Yeah. Which is always a good thing. Look at all these machine wires all up in there, just pulling them out. Sometimes I get the stuff just like this, to where the majority of the wires are pulled out of the BX, but they're all still together. It almost feels like they're doing the work for me, and I just gotta sort the wire from the aluminum. Pick this plastic out of there. Helps us see a lot better what we got going on. Basically, when I'm sorting down the pile like this, and we get to a point where there's too much garbage in the way, I pick it all out at once. It kind of resets the playing field. It keeps me more aware of what's coming next. Right, faucet, go over there. Empty MLC. Alright, cat wire. Can't mess with that now. Have my snips right here. That's all machine wire right here, mainly. There's one in here that I gotta pull out. It is a machine wire, but it's a rubber style coated machine wire. There's a red one in here too. Yeah, I pull those out. I don't really process those ones. They cause problems. Yeah. And plus there's so much rubber content on there that it's not an 80% recovery. So that's another reason why I don't mess with them. But they're good enough. They are good enough to put in the machine wire bucket to sell at a scrapyard. That's exactly why they go there. That's all machine wire. Good stuff. This is a whole other different DeWalt angle grinder. That one's no good. It's a spring scale. I'm going to use a bigger saw for this piece. This is like all copper right here. This was the inside casing of a motor. I can probably get number 2 copper for that big chunk, but I have to find a way to actually get into it because it looks like it's literally soldered in. I don't know why, but definitely going to come back to that one. Because an angle grinder probably won't cut the cheese on that one. mystery bag. Oh, what the? Ooh. Got some wet cardboard in there, man. Little bit of wet cardboard, a little bit of mold. But there must have been something good in these boxes for me to want to grab them, so I got faith in that. Yeah, this is camera stuff. That's extruded aluminum, number 9. So we're gonna unbox all those right now and see exactly what we got in all of them. See, that's cast aluminum. I can see that. Okay, let's unbox them. Get rid of this nasty wet cardboard. Yeah, I feel like that's for a security camera of some sort. Yeah, it's good non-ferrous metals in there. That's what I'm seeing. That's all cast aluminum goodies. These little plates, that's cast. Cast. Oh yeah, it's all aluminum. Just keep opening them up, and that's all cast aluminum. It is. That's probably what it went inside something like that. See, yeah. The rest of this is garbage. Okay, so we got number 9. These are all extruded, number 9. They got screws and stuff on them, but that's good extrusion. It's painted, and it's got hardware onto it. This one's number 9. These are all cast aluminum. Yep. Okay. Cast aluminum and plastic. Okay, we got this left. We need to get that freed up. Okay. Can we just do one of these? Yeah. Pull that wire out. That's copper wire. This is all copper wire right here. That's some super good stuff right there. We'll probably strip that for sure. All the other thick, heavy wires. Okay, we got this stuff here. Can we get these out easily? Yes. This one not so much. Sweet. All right, copper breakage. Tin shred. starting with this. And this bag. And we're going to leave these aluminum wires just as they are. We'll sell them like that because they're just huge heavy rolls. They're going to be easy to grab. I'll just make sure when I load the truck that those wires will go next to the aluminum wire bag. Anyways. Breaker box. Move this in some. Pull that in. Got another bag right here. And this box. Cool. Here's our next bit of scrap metal. This fan. We're gonna look at this fan over here. Yeah, it's old, it's kind of cool, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't need it. It'll be a burden to me, it'll be in my way. But it's an old General Electric fan that's past its due date. And it's not very collectible. So, I mean, they are collectible to an extent. But let's take it apart. We're gonna at least scrap a motor off of it, right? And a nut right here. There. Electric motor. That's what I'm selling it as. As far as this silverware goes, there's not a whole lot in here I would want to keep, really. Here's a piece of cast aluminum, whatever it was. Low end cutlery. I think I said it right. But anyways, we're gonna get rid of it. That's non-magnetic, but the corkscrew isn't. I guess that's cast aluminum. Enough. Yeah, it's all tin shred. I don't need any more knives or any more of that stuff, so get rid of it. See, the biggest thing is it's out of my way, and I'm sending it into the right direction. To me, that matters a lot. Okay. Okay, next bag. Oh, look at that roll of Romex wire and pop cans and Bear Bright wires. That's nice. When they're gone like that, I just sheet aluminum. They won't run through the machine. They got to be able to scan the barcode on them. That's the one thing with these. All right. Some more Bear Bright wire. Yeah. That's cast aluminum. There. Pumpkins. Pumpkins. A few pieces of brass on those ends there, and get some light wire. Throw that in there. Keep moving. Okay, there's some mixed wires up in here, but for the most part, we got a huge pile of Romex now. Bear bright wire. You see, guys, so much good stuff gets thrown out every single day that it makes so much more sense for me to quick sort the things that I do get and just go get more, you know. And I guarantee you, if you try going and finding a specific route and stick to it for over a year, you'll dial in some really good spots. Just don't let up, and check. If you're checking somewhere, always check there twice a week. And don't stop checking there for at least 6 months, so you can understand and see if there's some sort of a pattern to the way they throw scrap metal out, right? And if you stick to that model, a lot of the times you'll just get lucky and start running into stuff, you know. But a lot of the times it's not luck and it's planned, because you're out there checking twice a week, you know. But let's get all that Romex over there. We got a lot of Romex ready. We can just toss. Get that out of here. I mean, you could be processing this stuff, or you could be preparing to go out and get a whole nother bag of it. I mean, really, the choice is all yours for sure. But for me, just to pull this out of a mixed bag of wires, throw it in its category, sell it, was one of the most profitable things that I could have done, I think, personally. I mean, it all depends on how you value your time. And I'll say that over and over and over again. But holy cow, look at all that Romex though. That's a good freaking pile right there. Filled my basket up over there. Still throwing it over there. Look at that. Someone really clumped that one up. That's like 2 pounds, 3 pounds right there. I got this extra hand. I'm just gonna pack that down there a little bit. Yeah. But I got to keep doing it this way if I'm going to get caught up in any way, shape, or form here. So that's what we're going to keep doing. I told myself I ain't going to the scrapyard until I have some actual impressive amounts of progress back here done. But I'm not going to stop going dumpster diving though. I'm always going to keep going out and going and getting it. Right. I need to do that. But I'm hoping to be able to finally establish a specific flow. This one's crushed down too much. Sheet of aluminum on that. But that's my idea. Because you're always going to want to keep it coming in. And you're always going to want to try to stick to that type of scenario. Bringing in like a good bit twice a week. But I want it to be controllable size-wise back here, you know. And that all starts by eliminating the things that have been built up for a while, and on top of keeping up with 2 hauls per week from Concrete Jungle, right? I'm going to be slowly peeling away from uploading every day, so I can focus on things that are very important. And a lot of you that watch me daily will understand. I gotta make more time for me and this actual part of the business, which is at working at the bench. So there's gonna be a lot of probably silent scrapping videos, people that just like to watch the scrapping process go down, you know, because there's going to be times where I'm not going to really be talking because I'm out of words, you know what I mean? Like, not that I'm out of words, it's just that I'm concentrating. Sometimes I concentrate better when I'm not trying to hold a full conversation. So I think getting into the silent scrapping might be a good idea for me for some videos, you know. There'll still be some audio, you know, in a good part of the video, but it's a lot more to edit. If I'm talking for 2-3 hours out of the day on camera, I got to edit 2 or 3 hours of film. That can be crazy. There's a nice piece of aluminum wire. But what I do know is we're gonna have a nice scrap load coming up soon. I might actually divide up some of the materials and make 2 separate loads, let's just say, and maybe do 1 per day or something like that, because I like the scrap run videos. I like making them. I was actually waiting for some GoPro mounting parts to come in because I've been dealing with some broken equipment. So that's gonna be a good thing. I just had a part delivered today, so it's gonna make tomorrow or whenever I go to the scrapyard easier. And more Romex wire. Another bag. little ram sticks. I found these rims, they say Spitfire on them. Thought they were kind of cool. I don't know. I'm going to set them aside and you guys tell me if they has any value. I believe it's from the 60s or 70s based on that license plate thing. Yeah. I'm going to set all that to the side for now. I've pre-decided on these already. These little bolt things. They're cast aluminum. The mechanism's all busted up on them. I don't know what they were, but yeah, it's cast aluminum now. Couple of these. Ballast, a couple of boot spurs. They got little brass wheelie kickers on them. Pretty cool. We got one thing left on the table over here. And then we got to unload all of our full baskets. We got a lot of full baskets from those last couple loads. We're not even we're about halfway finished with the last 2 dives that we did. We still got plenty of stuff, but this breaker's the last thing to go. Okay, that one looks fun. Let's see what we can do. If I can get them like that, get them in pieces like that, I'll sell it as number 2. Smack it. Phillips. There. Click that piece off there. We can sell that as all number 2 copper. Yeah. One more right here. Smack that. There. Oh, like that piece of wire right there. I can cut. Okay. Number 2 copper. Rest of that's tin shred to me. Besides that breaker. There. And that's garbage, plastic. Some empty bags back for the car. All right, get this to the truck. Go grab that basket. We're gonna pull this over here. That's our next bin full of stuff. But this has got to go. This is heavy. Oh yeah. Easily 100 pounds of aluminum wire. All right. Boom. Okay, so we need 2 bags over here. One to replace the aluminum wire and one to get all the Romex in one bag. Empty this out real quick. All right. We need to take the BX wire out. Woo! Another satchel of BX wire right there. All right. And also drag the machine wire up out of here. That's full. Okay, our breakers basket has to get emptied out. Oh boy. Oi. All right. Beautiful. All right. So that's ready to rock. We still got room for light wire and cat wire and all the coppers and brasses. We need to empty out the pop cans bucket for sure. All right. Looks like I dropped a few. That's okay. There we go. All right. One went in there too. So, the Romex. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, yep. our bag of Romex right there. All right, we got an extra bag over here in case we need it. We'll throw it over there though. Beautiful. All right, we're ready to keep sorting scrap, basically. But me and Mason are gonna go take lunch break. I said that right as the battery died, so the GoPros are tired as well. We're gonna go take a lunch break and be back with this pop can.